Reggie Bradshaw of Locked On Sun Devils. Texas Tech. BYU. We've given a whole lot of attention to Deion Sanders and Colorado in the NIL game. But who's number 4? Who's number 1? Who's number 3? Is Arizona State on par with the rest of this conference in NIL? And from your perspective, what schools seem to be dominating the money train, the money aspect of college football that has turned players into employees?
First part of your question, no, they are not. And quite frankly, it's not even close. But you can get to that point.
Time out. You're telling me the school that won the Big 12 championship this season in football is behind the punch compared to the rest of the league in NIL, but they won the championship in football.
Yep. ASU was so far behind the 8 ball when it came to creating their NIL collective. It came 3 years ago, where some teams were ahead of it around the time of COVID and stuff like that. So ASU has put themselves so far behind everybody else that by the time that they had figured it out, I mean, there was maybe 3 other programs that were struggling. One of them was Stanford, which is a private university, and that's pretty difficult with their academic standards to also find guys to go to that program. So ASU was really far behind. Now, one of the things that we have heard many, many a times, ASU is a sleeping giant. It's old, it's tired. It's true, though. And one of the factors that really goes into the sleeping giant has nothing to do with the athletic programs, not baseball, football, basketball, volleyball, nothing. It's everything to do with the fact that you are in one of the biggest cities in the country. You have a phenomenal amount of former players and alumni that have a lot of money to be able to chip in to that NIL, but it's not easy to get people bought in for the desert. Ask the Arizona Cardinals, ask the Phoenix Suns. It's very difficult to get people to go to your games and get in the stands and buy your merchandise and support your team when they're not good. And ASU hasn't been good for a while. So you're getting people back. You're having to earn these fans back. Right, wrong, or indifferent. You can say that you need more diehards, stuff like that. There are a lot of diehards, don't get me wrong. But your big boosters and stuff like that, why am I going to put 7 figures into this program when they're just going to be barely bowl eligible and stuff like that? But you are coming off a Big 12 championship and a college football playoff appearance where you were right there neck and neck with what's considered one of the bigger blue bloods in college football. That gets people's attention. So now it's a matter of building off of that. And if they are able to build off of that, then you're going to go from bottom half of the Big 12, and I really would put them bottom half of the Big 12 right now when it comes to NIL. You're going to shoot up into that top 4 that you're talking about, and it might get higher and higher and higher because of the high profiles that you have out here. There's a lot of rich people out in the Valley that are ASU alumni that are willing to go all in on the program. It's just a matter of proving you're consistent enough. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
If I grew up in Canyon, Texas, just outside of Lubbock, there's not a lot going on in Canyon, Texas. There's not a lot going on in Lubbock, Texas. If I grew up in Provo, Utah, you're just far enough. When I grew up from Valonia, Arkansas, we were 20 minutes from Conway, which was the next city. Valonia had nothing. And so to go to Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Sonic, whatever, you had to go 20 minutes away. We're going to go to the big city. We're going to pile up in the car and go 20 minutes away. So for most Americans, it feels as though driving even 15 minutes to a different city to go to an attraction is a bit of a haul. You got kids, you're gonna pile them up. That's how it felt for us, right? Where I'm going with this, in Provo, going to Salt Lake, probably not going to. You're going to stay in Provo. In Lubbock, going to Dallas, oh my gosh, going to Houston, going to San Antonio, it's impossible. It's across the state. From Waco to Dallas, from Waco to Austin, you're not bringing your kids, bringing your family. And thus, you create this love for athletics locally. I love that 10 minutes away, I can root for Texas Tech. I can go in my small town, see big time football, basketball, baseball. In Phoenix, in Tempe, in Scottsdale, it's so much different. Are there challenges that we're not considering, that nationally we're not considering with being in a large market?
Massively overlooked is everything that the Valley offers, because it's huge. We have West Valley, we have East Valley, and there's a ton of stuff. There are a countless amount of fashion centers and malls for you to go to. There's a countless amount of golf courses that people from all across the country will fly out to. Sorry for smacking my microphone there. To come out and enjoy golfing. The Waste Management Open is out here. Drake Toll was out here for that. That's an event. There's a 2-hour drive to Flagstaff to go into the snow. It's a few hour drive to go to Rocky Point down in Mexico and enjoy your spring break. It's a few hour drive to go to Los Angeles and enjoy the beach. It's a 4-hour drive to Las Vegas.
Say Sedona. Say Sedona.
I love Sedona. Sedona is beautiful.
Yeah, say Sedona. It's great. Yeah.
It is. It's beautiful.
I just want to make sure we added Sedona in there, because it's one of my favorite towns in all of America.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. But
not close, not convenient to get to.
Right. But you know what? It's a few hour drive for you compared to, like you said, it's a few hour drive just to a big city. I'll put it this way. You're talking about going to like a Chick-fil-A or anything like that, and it's a hike. Where I live, and people in Arizona in the Valley know, Bell Road, sometimes referred to as Hell Road because of all the traffic it gets, it is about a 15-minute drive from where I live. Spencer, if it's not on Bell Road, you don't need it. All your department stores, all your restaurants, all of your electronic places, your clothing outlets, sit-down restaurants, fast food, casual dining, everything is 15 minutes away from me. If it's not there, I don't need it. That's very different for people that are in those smaller towns. And that matters because there is so much to do in Phoenix compared to those smaller towns and cities in those areas where BYU football is all that people have. Like that matters for them. That's everything. Arizona sports aren't good. Okay, I'm going to go golfing this weekend. That's what you're competing against, is better options to do than, quote, waste your money, as some people would consider it.
Yeah, and that's, Houston, they're going to watch the Astros.
Right.
They're going to a Rockets game. They'll watch the Texans play. That's your first love, especially if you are, by and large, Texas Tech grad who moved to Houston post-grad, or Texas Tech grad who moved to Phoenix post-grad. They're not going to Arizona or Arizona State games. And that puts you at a disadvantage. We consider market. Boston College must be a great addition to any conference because of market. No, because there are so many. The Boston Symphony Orchestra is bigger than Boston College. More people are consistently going to that, touring to go to that, than they are Boston College. And that's where large city, smaller schools are sucked up into this never-ending vacuum of, hey, you're in a big market, you should succeed. And you can't, because there are the Dallas Cowboys, the Phoenix Suns, or whoever. And that is not something the Auburn Tigers or Alabama Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa or Ohio State Buckeyes in Columbus have to compete with. Richie Bradshaw, spectacular stuff. As always, you've nailed it once again. Where can folks find more of your work?
You can always find me on Twitter at Richie Brads with a Z 36. If you want to debate sports or anything like that, always happy to have those conversations. LO_Sun Devils is for the podcast. We're free and available on all platforms, and YouTube. Having a good time, trying to get to 2,000 before the season starts. So we got a few months to get there. We're over 1,700 right now. Help a brother out.
No doubt. Love it. That's Richie Bradshaw of Locked On Sun Devils, talking all things Arizona State. Squad shows tonight, by the way. If you're watching this Thursday, the squad show is tonight, 5 or 6 Eastern. I should know that 8 months into squad showing, but it will be one of those times. This has been, it always will be, Locked On, a crossover between the Sun Devils. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. And Dose Grande.